Nishukishe mta dere wauru wa mta wanataka choma na mikiase mta dere
karibu tena. Welcome to the Atmost Entertainment Podcast, and I'm your host today, Curious kwenye flow hapa. Hey, I hope you guys are doing good. So much has been happening. Hey, it's been a long week. Elections have finally been concluded. A lot in the entertainment industry has been going on. Even I will talk about that. But my people, welcome to another episode at the Atmost Entertainment Podcast. This is episode 5 and we're going strong. Maze kuna so much I'd love to talk about today. And my people, I know there's a lot that I haven't covered with you yet, but please bear with me, cause by the time tunafika on our first artist, I will have brought to you the utmost entertainment news. And today, Maze, I have been wanting to talk about this topic for a very long while. Before I start on with that topic, I'd like to give a big shout out, a very big shout out to the people that have been sharing this and commenting and also subscribing to this channel. Maze, you make my days even better. Anyway, they have after these elections have been concluded, I've been seeing that the artists who have been wanting to release music, and also kulikuanga na story ya Nyege festival that I had told you guys that you should go. Maze, then Ugandan parliament decided that it wanted to stop reggae. Too bad for them, because it won't stop Nyege festival, which is going to be happening at Uganda in Jinja. Maze, big shout out to everybody who's going for the Nyege festival, and you know you're going to have fun mkienda huko. Also, there are so many artists, as I mentioned before, that I've seen that they're working on huge projects. And there's one person I want to give a big shout out to, and that is Oxide, Maze. He's going to be releasing an album called Strictly for My Hoodlums, man. I am strictly one of his hoodlums, and I want to give a big shout out. If you do not know who Oxide is, Maze, talk, take it. I'll see you kabisa, and you should go and check out all his previous projects and this upcoming album. Oh man, the features on this album are just simply dope. And if you haven't listened to any of these projects, go back and nyuma uangalie projects za umse, sababu I keep on telling you guys, Kenyan music, Kenyan artists are on top of their game, and Oxide is proof to this. Anyway, let's go straight into our topics today. Farm, today I want to talk about the Kenyan gospel industry. Maze. First of all, before I start talking about the Kenyan gospel industry, I just want to say there's one thing I know for a fact, and the Kenyan gospel industry grounded the Kenyan music industry as a whole. And if there's one big thing that I give praise for gospel industry, is really promoting artists and upcoming talents in their own different rights. And there are so many gospel industry artists that we can talk about today that some of you might not even know. Others have been there, but they might have disappeared here and there. Lakini nakuambia watu wangu, the Kenyan gospel industry is one of the most energetic industries right now in Kenya. I know there are so many people right now who can say that the secular side of the industry has really topped, but the Kenyan gospel industry is still in its game, and there are few people that I'd love you guys to go and check out. And I know for a fact that the Kenyan gospel industry has so many controversies. There are so many things that have been happening, but there are so many people, organizations that have been supporting the Kenyan gospel industry so that it can be able to grow. And one thing I'd love to mention is that the events that the gospel industry that they have been having, kwanza kuna mmoja yenye inakujanga every 31st December that mnaenda mnarukia mwaka huko, and I went for that festival once, and if there's one thing that I loved about that festival is the fact that ilikuwa, first of all, ilikuwa packed. Yeah. Then the second thing is how they bring out their artists, and the whole spiritual, you know, energy that is around, that is going on around. And if there is unlike these secular events kwenye mnapatanga kila mtu ako maji nini nini, hizo upatagi vitu kaa hizo. You go there for the enjoyment of the music, of the people and all that. And the Kenyan gospel industry has been really doing its best so that you can be able to support the artists. Lakini there are several churches that still haven't gotten into the Kenyan gospel, like seti hawa support Kenyan artists, but they're still ni kama wana take time before they pay their artist, you know. Squeezy, it's not about exposure, it's more about what you can put, what value do you give me as an artist, you know. I cannot come to a certain event ni tena mniambia mnanilipa na exposure. That doesn't happen anymore. Creatives right now need to eat from their work. And if there's one church I usually give a shout out to, ni Mavuno. Mavuno has always supported the Kenyan gospel industry, whether it's an upcoming artist, whether it's a renowned artist, they have been supporting artists, sorry. And if you do not know any artists from Kenya who have been gospel artists, I won't mention Willie Paul and I won't mention Bahati, because those are very different type of, let's say their artistry is very different and in another spectrum, you know. And even when you listen to their songs, you can feel that they weren't really into the gospel industry. It's just that it so happened that that's where their creativity took them, you know. And if there's one thing I have seen is that first of all, there are so many artists that we have not even hatuskiangi, you know. But if you check out any kind of TV, any type of channels, you'll find that the Kenyan gospel artists have been doing their work. They have been grinding in and out everywhere around Kenya, kila mahali watu tu wanafanya tu kazi kuwaletea tu the gospel to your homes and to bring the gospel to different types of people, you know. And if the gospel of the Lord, you know, it's always about trying to bring people back to the Lord and trying to make people realize that they have there's a higher being, and also there's you. You can also you can find you will succeed in your life if you believe, not just believe in God, but if you do your best so that you can be able to be kind to other people, be spiritual and all that. And the music industry, the Kenyan gospel in music industry has been trying so much so that it can bring the spirituality back to how it was. If there's one, I mentioned earlier that the Kenyan gospel industry grounded the Kenyan music industry, and I'll tell you why. There's a guy by the name Nashville, RIP to that guy. They had a group called the Wanono Crew, and during that era, the type of gospel that was coming out from that era was dope. From kuna Sifa Leo, then there was akina Daddy Owen, akina Rafton, Buddha, kuna wase walikuwa wanatoa mangoma hadi Emoji was one of the biggest groups that I have ever seen, and I still think they are one of the biggest groups till date in the gospel industry. Though there have been several other groups that have been they walikuanga pamoja, then they went their different ways, and that was Recap. And there's one person I'm going to mention because I know the guy personally. We haven't talked for a year or two, I guess, but tulianza na yeye ngoma and his name is Manolo K. He's one of the founding members of the Recap. And if you do not know Recap, Maze, Five Stones was one of my favorite jams from Recap. And right now Manolo has been changing the spectrum of his sound, and he has become one of the biggest gospel industries right now. There are so many other artists I know, and we can mention Kambua, we can mention Masimasika, we can mention Alice Wahome, we can mention Daddy O, Guardian Angel, Maze, Mr. Seed. Like there's so much content in the gospel industry, and if you do not know that it's still like on, they are still on top of their game, go check them out. There's so many articles that have been coming out that the gospel industry is filled with controversies and all that, but which industry is not? Yeah. And if you're a fan of gospel music, I assure you the people that I've just mentioned are going to do you justice to hearing their music. And if there is mimi nilikuwa nikiendanga church, mi nikisikizanga Manolo, I'm just like oh, that G, you know, because he started singing from a very long time, you know. And this is not just about him being a gospel musician, but being an artist and being a creative. And he started his journey from a very long time, like class 6, class 7 huko, you know. And that's a very long time ago. Until date, the guy has been on an up an up trajectory of becoming one of the best gospel musicians right now. I know there are so many things that have been happening in the gospel industry, and we can say that it has been growing, and right now it's in its form, you know. And as much as we say that right now anikama usikima ngoma nyingi za gospel industry, go check out different stations and you will listen that there are so many artists that are wanatoa mangoma sahi, from Kikuyu songs to Kamba songs to Turkana songs to Kalenjin, you know. There's so many people who are out there trying to spread the word of the Lord, because they know for a fact it's not about them, it's about us becoming better in whatever we do. And if you haven't had any of albums that have come out, projects from gospel industry, there's one person I'm going to suggest for you, and that is Kambua. Kambua is a G. Kambua, say, just keep on doing your thing, because Kambua is one of the most prominent gospel artists that I've seen so far. And it's not just about the music that she has produced, but the projects that she has dropped, and everything that she has done since she started her journey in the gospel industry. And there's so much content that she has been doing, and even now she also became a TV presenter, I think. And if you need to go and learn more about these artists and their journeys, because their journeys are what will make not just not just you as a creative to become more to get more faith in what you do, but it will encourage you as a person to become just a bit more of yourself, because the gospel industry kikushika roho imekushika na yezi kutoka. And mse, as I told you, there's so many people who have projects out there. And one thing about the gospel industry is that it is a breeding ground of creating amazing artists. There's so many artists that have been shifting from the gospel industry to the secular side, and also from the secular side to the gospel industry. For example, Says It alikuwa anatoa mabanga za secular, but right now in the gospel industry, I think she got into her form as an artist and as a creative. And that is one thing I love seeing about Kenyan artists. It doesn't matter which side of the spectrum you lie, as long as you keep on doing, not just doing the work, but creating and making people resonate with what you have. And Says It is one of the people that I can say for a fact have done that thing, you know. And she has always been firm and always consistent in whatever she does, in everything that she has been creating, writing, producing, everything. she has been doing it na roho moja, you know. And if that's one thing I love about the Kenyan music industry is watu wakidecide wanataka kufanya kitu wanafanyanga na roho moja, you know. And I have so many things that I would love to talk about this topic, but this is a part 1 of the gospel industry. I want to do a part 2 of this so that I can dive deeper into the gospel industry, about the controversies that goes on in the gospel industries. We touch on the kind of events the gospel industry has been having, so that they can be able to promote artists, so that they can be able to bring people together. And there's so much that has been happening. My friends, thank you for always holding it down with the Atmost Entertainment Podcast. And today, as I was covering this gospel topic, there was so much that was I had seen and I had read and I had gotten information for. And some people are also telling me that I really had to do an episode on the gospel industry. Ndio hiyo wase nimewafanyia hiyo kitu mnajua, and na bado nitawaletea part 2 for this podcast and this episode. Also, before I forget, there's someone I'd really love to give a shout out to. Not because actually it's because I've been listening to his music right now. Noel Ndereto, say, continue doing your thing. The guy has been dropping projects on projects, and his voice is just magnificent. He has been fusing Afro pop, R&B, soul inside his ministry, inside his gospel, and he has been doing that for a while now. And I'm telling you guys, if you do not know that artists in Kenya are grinding, go check out just Google or just go to YouTube and write Kenyan musicians, and you'll be finding people out there just doing their thing and giving you projects on projects. And with that, this is the Atmost Entertainment Podcast episode 5, man. I'm so excited that I'm going to be dropping this episode at Saturday, every Saturday at 9 a.m. And as I say, there's so much going on. At last, we have finished the elections, and for those guys who wameingia, tafadhali do the thing of supporting artists in every single county that you are in, because art is what is going to be bringing our culture back to us. Art is what is going to create that skillful person that you want. Art is what is going to be able to open up our minds as a people, you know. And Maze, thank you for being here with me and always coming through so that you can be able to watch my episodes every single week. I have so much that I want to be giving you guys. Actually, there is so much that I've been planning with a few, and now I have right now I can confidently say I have a team. And we will be starting to work together very soon. You'll be seeing changes in how we will be presenting our podcast, in how we'll be presenting our vlogs and our videos. And I hope you guys are ready for the tsunami that is about to hit you. Fam, have a really amazing day, and I'm your host, Curious, on the flow. I don't know why that got into my mind, but I've always wanted to be doing these episodes with you every week, every other week, and soon enough I'll be doing maybe even 2 episodes every week. And you guys have been so supportive, and I love that. And continue subscribing and sharing to all your friends, and I will definitely bring you the utmost entertainment news. With that, my people, have a really dope, amazing weekend. Maze, wagwan.
Haba itajaza bila aibu. Islando